Welcome to part two. We're just waiting for Kent from Ireland. Women love him, men want to be him. Hope you enjoyed part one. Slurp, slurp, slurp is what I'm going to call part one, because it's slurping like you could never imagine on a humongous scale. And here's Kent.
He's come in the back door, and I actually feel sorry for Frank Warren, because Frank Warren, the last 2 years, has made all the right moves and done all the right things at the right time.
Yeah.
He's come back from the brink. He's a survivor, and you've seen the leverage he has at heavyweight. You know, he's got obviously all them fighters that I named in part one, and he looks like he has the higher power there. And now all of a sudden you've got, AJ that can't fill an arena, Dillian White's failed another drug test, Fabio Wardley's left him, Sol Dakaris has left him,
Crusher Ben.
and your Crusher Ben's failed 2 steroid tests.
Canelo's
left him.
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor's beaten. You look at the amount of cards that he's had recently that have not been selling, and you're thinking, all he's talking about is Bam Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards
And Johnny Bosch Fisher.
That wouldn't sell out, a leisure centre.
What about the Romford Bull?
The Romford Bull. And you put all them together and you think, where are they gonna sell? Where can they make money?
Put them all together. Could you imagine them coming down the hill in the Battle of Hastings?
then straight in the back door. Frank Warren's done everything right. Built his stable, put his fighters in the right slots, got them in the position, and now Eddie's eating off the table, eating off the same table as him.
All them running downhill at Bricktop while he's in hills with his cannons.
I'm sure he's absolutely raging.
Oh,
raging.
Eddie, how has he let it all slip and fall apart to end up having to slip his way back in?
It's interesting, but I feel disappointed for Frank Warren, to be fair, because he's done everything right the last few years.
You reckon?
Business ways, managing ways, promoting ways. He's done things right the last few years, and Eddie's just touched lucky here. So he's failed well, and
yeah, Eddie's dropped on really, but all you're going to get from him though is, I'm doing the best for my fighters. My fighters are my family. So there's an answer for everything, Kent, isn't there, really?
I was disappointed. I'm disappointed for Frank, as I've said. He's done a better job promoting and managing his fighters this last 2 years.
Yeah.
Than Eddie. And now Eddie's in eating off the same table. It's I'm sure he's disappointed with that. And even yesterday, he said that, Francis has done a great job getting this together and doing this. He couldn't even say Frank. He didn't even mention Frank once.
Yeah.
Nope.
Crazy, isn't
it? He couldn't even give Frank praise, for, obviously, in any way, shape, or form. It was Frank's son, Francis, that he was mentioning constant.
Oh, you mean George? Sorry.
George and Francis. He actually mentioned Francis more than George.
Who did Eddie?
Yeah.
Go on, Eddie. Groveling. Slurp. With them ginger pubes. Unbelievable. I can't get out of my head, Kent.
Well,
Geezer Eddie, the geezer. Deal maker, billionaire deal maker, Eddie slurping.
Hell has just frozen over.
Hell has frozen over. Crusher Ben, Eubank Jr. Where's the big announcement, Kent?
Nigel's son.
Yeah, Nigel's son. Where's the big announcement?
It was never going to happen because I'll tell you why. That the Sheikh, I don't even know what you call him, His Excellency. They seem to have the rights. They seem to have the territory. They seem to own the territory there.
Yeah.
So for Eddie to turn around and say, "Yeah, we're going to go to Saudi," unless it was through that territory, unless it was through them guys, it looks like nothing's really going to happen. Sure, it doesn't. So for him to turn around and try and hoodwink fans to say, "Yeah, we're going to go to Saudi and put this on," it was never going to happen. Never going to happen. Plus, as well,
is there a chance?
the
Is there a chance, Kent, with all this Saudi money now, that we could get back to the days of, like having proper world title fights after world title fights after world title fights? We are fighters challenging themselves fight after fight. Going for it.
I think it says that in this card because Card Frampton said yesterday what was mooted to him. He basically says, "Nah, I can't see that happening. There's too many big names on this card, which means there's too many names need paid." And that was his thinking, and that was my thinking as well. No matter how much money Saudi have, and no matter how much a promoter has, you need to take away. It's the bottom line. You add all them figures together, you add everything together, and that's what you need to make more than that at the end of the card. That's how you know that you've had a successful night. The bottom line needs to be higher than the top line. So now they seem to be reinforcing that they actually want good competitive fights. They want value for money. They want to put on a good product. And yes, we talk about Saudi, human rights, but we talk about you can't go for a beer there. But at least they're actually trying to do something right for boxing.
Yeah.
And actually giving fans value for money, giving fans, action-packed cards like this. It's refreshing, and I think it's what needed to happen in boxing a long time ago. And
well, kids are going to get paid, aren't they, if they're going out there all the time? But where does it leave it for fans over here? Because not everybody can afford to go over there, can they?
Well, the promoters over here haven't been putting the cards on, Russell, and that's what's happened.
Yeah.
They haven't been giving the fighters the opportunities over here.
You think they're looking? Too many of them are looking for gimmicks to get in the mix.
Russell, boxing here in the UK is under a lot of pressure, and I mean a lot of pressure. And you look at the Next Gen show last week, nobody had it. You look at Eddie's show about a month ago, nobody had it. You look at the show in New York Hall, nobody had it. Then you turn on Sky the week after, and you've got that shite on DAZN. There's 18,000 people at it. It's sold out. It's the highest grossing pay-per-view of the year, and it's not even boxing. It's not even fighters. So
it's just friends and family going in it. Just friends and family are going to show some old fighters, isn't it?
Yes, and it's
going like amateurish, isn't it now? For people are more or less paying to get on shows and stuff, isn't it?
It's put boxing under a lot of pressure, and boxing in the UK right now is going through a massive recession. And I think it's all down to the platforms that are putting that shite on. And I think it's really, really hurting fighters turning pro. What the casuals want now they don't want to watch a fighter now for 10 fights or 15 fights before they build a personality. They build a brand. They build name brand value. They want to watch this shite on the zone that is ready-made personalities putting gloves on. And I think it's absolutely dreadful to boxing. I think it's caused boxing. It's really, really hurt boxing in the UK more than they can imagine. Really, really badly. Really bad.
Yeah. What do you think to IBF stripping Crawford? I mean, 2.5 months after he wouldn't fight for him, on the commission and them taking money, and yet they stripped him 2.5 months later. That's a bit bad, isn't it?
Well, that was the first thing that happened when Lennox Lewis unified the division. They took the IBF off him, so they did. So the IBF have been doing this for years with mandatories. They're really, really strict. They're really stringent. You look at what they did with Joe Cardina. They stripped him after winning the title. We have legit hand injury. They did it with Josh Warrington, with the Kid Galahad fight, the rematch. So yeah, you have to come next. You look at they did it with Tyson Fury. They stripped him right out. They stripped him the minute he won the belt. And you look at basically Charles Martin went and won the belt on a technicality. So you have to expect that with the IBF. The IBF are probably the strictest out of all the sanctioning bodies, but they won't go and do it with Usyk, but they'll do it with other fighters. I'm not surprised.
Well, I feel for Crawford there, because I think he's held himself well, hasn't he, Crawford, really? 40-0, 31 knockouts. He's won weights at 3 weights, hasn't he? All belts.
He's probably our best generational fighter. So
Yeah.
yes, he's the best fighter we've had in a generation. But
he doesn't
I don't
lose
think
around, does he?
No, I don't think Bud will be too annoyed at that. I think he knows about legacy and about his own legacy now, that rather than the IBF stripping him of the IBF, he's still the champion for me. He's still the if all the sanctioning bodies stripped him right now, for me, he still would be undisputed.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor.
I think it's kind of going to be I think it's going to be a fight that possibly could go the same way. I thought that Chantel Cameron looked a lot bigger than her, looked a lot stronger on her, was physically more imposing than Katie Taylor. I think it was the wrong weight. They took the first time. I could see the same. I see the same outcome this time, Russell. To be honest with you, I see it happening the exact same way.
Can you?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think will happen then for Katie Taylor? That's it.
No, it's not, because she sells. She's an icon in Ireland. She is an icon. She is probably at the minute Ireland's most popular sports star. She sells. She is an icon in Ireland. So I can't see her being finished after this fight. If she loses this fight, I could still see her going on and having 3 or 4 more fights and selling the way she did. That would not diminish her popularity whatsoever.
What about Caballel and Makhmudov? That's an exciting one, isn't it?
That's a good fight. That's a really, really good fight. Really good fight. Now, Caballel hasn't looked great his last few fights. He was dropped heavily in his last fight. I thought he should have been stopped. He came back and won. But listen, it's a brilliant card from top to bottom. It really, really is. It's going to be interesting. We look at Makhmudov and he's got that mad twitch. You know, he doesn't speak, you know, any English. He looks like an absolute monster. He's like a monster heel WWF character from the 90s.
Yeah.
He reminds me of like Giant Gonzalez in the 90s WWF. But that's an interesting fight. So it is. The whole card's brilliant from top to bottom. You can't fault it in any way.
He could end up being the one in Macbeth, couldn't
he? He's very imposing. He's scary. He's a monster. But we haven't seen him get hit yet, Russell.
Are you disappointed to see Jared Anderson not on there?
I don't know what's going on. I think what they need. I think what Bob is doing with him is building him in America. I think he's trying to build an American heavyweight. And I think the road he's on and the opposition he's fighting, you know, he's been put in, he's been matched well.
But when that Saudi money comes calling
decent sea-level money, I think he's just keeping him in the background, you know, because he knows Anderson's not going to be ready for another 2-3 years. And I don't think Fury and Usyk's got 2 or 3 years left, so he's just keeping him in the background and building him.
What about Lyndon Arthur in mix?
That's a great opportunity.
IBO champion. Why not?
Great opportunity. Why not? You know, Spider Richards really pushed Bivol. Really pushed him. So why not?
If Lyndon Arthur beats Bivol, he is the man, isn't he?
You know, Bivol's been waiting around, you know, for obviously the Beterbiev and Cam Smith winner, but he can't sit around waiting forever. He needs to be an active champion. So this is a good fight for both of them. It's really is a good fight for both of them. You know, you've got, you know, Bivol needs to stay active. He's fighting a guy that's not going to roll over. He could pose him problems. He's a really good job, really good fundamentals. He's a good active fit fighter. He's an IBO champion. It's a brilliant fight. I'm actually excited for it. I think it's a good fight for both of them.
Yeah, Lyndon Arthur must be rubbing his hands, thinking, "Oh my God, all these Christmases have come at once," and he was limping in presser, wasn't he? No's going to stop him fighting, is there?
I'll say it's a massive opportunity for fighting in a leisure centre to go into Saudi and fighting over there. That's going to be an incredible experience.
Caller's obviously had an hand in that, hasn't he?
Well, he wasn't anywhere yesterday, was he?
No, well, somebody has, hasn't they? Because once he's fighting on Channel 5, want Caller working with him?
Yeah.
Caller might have put a word in for him, you don't know, do you?
Well, they did say yesterday that there was like 10 other promoters involved, so I'm assuming that it's the 10 promoters that are working with the other fighters on the undercards. You know, you've got the likes of, you know, with the Kabayel, you've got, you know, Junior Father, you've got, you know, Makhmadov.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's him with
David Higginson as well. All those guys.
With, thing on his head, that cap thing on his head.
That's Dimitri Salida.
Yeah, that dude. There's him. There's Calla there slurping away.
So they're all in there. It's actually good. It's actually good that they're all working together and putting on a brilliant show. I can't wait for it.
Don't money do that to you though, Kent?
Yeah, it is. It's money, isn't it? They're not doing it because they all like each other. They're not doing it for any other reason other than their own self-gratification. So, yeah. But they get something out of it, and we're getting a great fight card.
Yeah, do you think Bricktop and Eddie will be opening Christmas crackers under the tree this year?
I don't think so, Russell.
No,
definitely not. There's no love lost there. That it's just a means to an end, really, for them, and they have to be there. They if they're told that, they will do it.
You want to put it past Eddie sidling up to Frank, would you, and saying, "Listen, we know this is what it is, don't we? And we know what we are. So, but we'll just keep it at that. You won't put it past Eddie getting one in on him, would you?
In an about way, I kind of see that with them. They're just getting on with it. Just get on with it.
Yeah. They've been told, haven't they? Get on with it or fuck off.
That's basically it, isn't it? And
They're
they've no other
not going to let that dough go, are they?
They've no other option, Russell.
They're not going to leave that on table. Not now they know
No chance.
Joshua's scared of his own shadow.
No chance.
Scared to death of his own shadow. And this is the end game. It's as far as they can go. Where else can they go that's higher than this to get money? This is about as high as it goes, isn't it? With richest people in the world, isn't it? Right? So this is the end game. Let's have it right. Joshua's scared to death of his shadow. I'm going to squeeze what I can out of him. And then I'll move on to the next victim. Pop, pop, bang.
It's like the ultimate cash out, isn't it?
Of course it is. Joshua's just been took to meat market. It's as simple as that.
It's the ultimate cash out. It really is. There's no other way you can say it.
He took to slaughterhouse. That's all it is. At slaughterhouse as Wilder. That's the slaughterhouse for him.
What would happen?
Pop, pop, bang.
What would happen? What would happen if Joshua knocks out Wilder?
Oh well, it's a game changed, isn't it? But nobody's gonna. He'll be took to that ring, kicking and screaming him. He'll be took to that. He was trembling, like I said in other part. The man were trembling in the man's presence. You could see it when Wilder were telling stories about fighters don't want to go out like that. They're thinking, is that going to be me? I've got children, I've got families. They're looking at these people, Wilder's icing. They're on button moon. They're looking, they think, that's not going to be me. I'm telling you now.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be huge.
See it in Joseph Parker. It was snappy.
Yeah, he was terrified. He was literally terrified. Did he even say a word yesterday?
He didn't say zero. He was like John Fury when I was putting billboards up with Mickey Theo. He went silent.
Oh, class. And here, John was nowhere to be seen yesterday anyway, so he wasn't.
They'll be thinking of a story to pipe up. They've already piped one up yesterday, haven't they? Tyson Fury calling out John Jones at boxing ring. Oh,
John Jones.
Oh, John Jones. Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
is under contract with the UFC. It would be absolutely impossible for that to happen. And he's went through an operation like last week. He went through a surgery last week. So that's impossible. That is not going to happen, Russell. No word.
Have you noticed online? Have you noticed online a lot of these Fury fanatics? You know, the Fury Power team. They've gone missing, haven't they, Ken?
I think a lot of people are just have just caught on to it.
What? That it's pump and dump.
It's all crap. Yeah. I think a lot of people have caught on to the fact that it's all absolute nonsense. So it is.
Yeah. What a bit like Ngannou's top 10 ranking with WBC.
Well, someone's paying it, Russell. Someone's paying it, and that's where, you know, someone is paying for that ranking. That's the way it works. You don't just get a ranking because you're a good fighter. You pay for your ranking. Someone's paying it, whether it's Frank Warren, whether it's Bob Arum, someone is paying for that ranking. Yeah.
Bit like somebody's paying for that return of the Magnificent Seven Bricktop. He's always returning with a Magnificent Seven, isn't he? How many times has he used that now? The return of the Magnificent Seven.
I remember the first Magnificent Seven was like 20 years ago.
And all that lot.
Yeah, well, it was dreadful. Any card with cleverly on it was dreadful.
Tony Bellew wasn't much survivor back then, were he?
Oh, it was probably the worst. No, it wasn't a Frank. That wasn't a Frank Warren card. That was an Eddie show. That was probably one of the worst cards that I've ever seen in my life. Was the rematch of Bell End and Cleverly. It was dreadful. It was
Wow.
absolutely
Eddie got £1 million off that. They only got 200 grand each.
dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
What do you think to Tony's I'm a celebrity, get me out of here news?
Dreading it. Absolutely
Are
dreading
you
it.
voting for him to do challenges, Kent?
No, definitely not.
No, I mean,
Definitely
not
not.
just this one. There's not many famous people in it, really. They're all like Z-list jobs, aren't they? There's
Well,
no big names, is there?
Nigel Farage is on it.
Yeah. Well, the
I like
scripts are
him.
being wrote, aren't they, for him and Bell End, aren't they?
I like Nigel Farage. I like him. But who else is on it, Russell?
I don't really know. Britney Spears' sister. I thought it was mother. It's her sister. Apparently, she's going to be an actor.
Britney Spears' sister.
It's like some nightmare on Big Brother job, isn't it?
Oh, it's dreadful. It's really, really dreadful. It's just remember Eubank Senior was on it, and he was absolutely petrified of Lady C.
Unbelievable, man.
Do you remember that?
It'll be a freak show this week. Tony, you got greedy. You got greedy.
And he was mates. He was mates with Tony Hadley. Remember him and Tony Hadley were mates.
Oh,
And
God.
Lady C absolutely hated Tony Hadley. She literally broke him as a person. And Eubank was absolutely terrified of Lady C. Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the nature at hand. Otto Walling. Can he pull it off?
He's a tricky fighter. He really is. He's a tricky southpaw fighter. He's very fit. He hit Fury more than anyone has hit him. He should have won that fight. He's going to test Joshua. Really, he's a better fighter than basically Franklin and Helenius, and he's a southpaw, and he's active. He had a really good win against Murat Gassiev. He's been an active fighter. I thought he looked dreadful against Kamel Sokolowski a couple of years ago on a boxer show, but it's a good fight. It really is a good fight.
Yeah. Do you think cruiserweights at the moment calling Tommy Fury out shows us where boxing is at the moment? You know, what's chasing that Tommy Fury money?
There's no money in the cruiserweight division. There's nothing, and I think any of those guys like Riak Porte, Chris Smith, they need to go up to heavyweight.
Do you see a Kohler going up to heavyweight?
He should have went up to heavyweight 3 years ago when he had that beef with Dillian White. He should have done it then. Never mind win the title at cruiserweight. Go up to heavyweight and get established there, and you know, make money at heavyweight. That's what I would have done. Or the minute he won that cruiserweight belt, just give it up and go up to heavyweight. That's what they should have did, but obviously they weren't advised that well to do that. So that's up to them.
Well, it's madness, isn't it?
You know, when he had name brand value, he should have went up to heavyweight. It would have been a far better move. There would have been more opportunities. There would have been more interest in that than sitting around waiting at cruiserweight. Nothing in cruiserweight. Nothing.
Guy have got no for him, have they, Coley?
Nothing. How could you after that last fight?
What do you think to Horsecock getting an MBE?
What did he get it for?
Well, he had all them defences, didn't he, with WBO?
He didn't
British
fight Carl.
European champion.
He didn't give Carl Thompson a rematch, did he?
Yeah, politics gets in the way, doesn't it? Sometimes I think
He didn't fight O'Neill Bell, did he? He didn't fight Sean-Marc Mormack. He
Enzo
didn't fight.
Macarinelli. We
He
got
didn't
injured.
fight. He didn't fight David Hay, and then he retired against him. He run away from Enzo Macarinelli.
Yeah, it's what could have been for Johnny, isn't it?
But sorry, he did win the WBF and the WBU World Heavyweight Championship, so we can't knock him.
Yeah, he's been at Sky 15 years. He's in mix, isn't he? He does stuff for charity, doesn't he?
I suppose he's a good personality, and he there's a lot of stuff he does away from boxing, which is really good. I actually like John. I think he's funny. He seems an all right guy. So fair play to him.
He's done well, horse cock, hasn't he? Really.
He's done very well. He made a lot of money out of boxing. He won a world title. Fair play to him.
The Gad. Where do you see his future now, the Gads?
I don't really care, to be honest with you. I just see him doing what he's doing now. And see him doing what he's always did.
Slurping.
I just see him doing what he's always did.
Yeah, it's a shame to see grown men carry off like that, isn't it, Kent?
Well, that's how he makes a living, Russell.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of them make a living.
Yeah. Craziness, isn't it? Eubank Jr., Kent, what do you see happening with him if they don't get this Ben thing sorted?
It's tricky because he doesn't care about legacy. He doesn't care about legacy. He just wants to make as much money out of it as he can. I don't see him fighting Janabek. I think Janabek is the best middleweight in the world right now. He's a brilliant fighter. I just see him waiting for a fight. I just see him
him being a bit fragile, even though he seemed beefy off. That was a shell of a man of beefy, wasn't it? Do you think Eubank really knows that he's on his way down?
I think he's just going to wait for a big money fight. I think now at his career, it's not about legacy. It's about money. I could see him maybe waiting about for maybe Billy Joe Saunders. He times it right with fights. Getting fighters at the right time. I like Eubank Jr., but I think he's going to avoid Janabek. I think he's just going to wait for a big money fight.
Yeah.
But who that is,
eh?
But who that is it different? Is it Kell Brook? Is it Triple G?
I can't see him wheeling Kell Brook, guys. 38, man.
Well, I could see it. I could see it, Russell.
Flex and Kell Brook back.
Listen, if it makes money, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If it makes money, it makes sense. I don't know. I don't know who they can wheel out for him next. I don't think it'll be Triple G. I seen him the other week. He looks huge. I can't see him fighting again. Is it Kell Brook? It's all went really quiet with him. The only fight that he makes money is Nigel's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only fight that's going to sell for him. I can't see him chasing Janabek around, going over to America and fighting him in a casino in front of 400 people, or that fight against Nigel's son. I can't see him going chasing titles at this stage of his career and at this age. I just think it's about money, making as much money as he can.
Wow, it's crazy, isn't it? Did you see that? Go on, sorry.
There doesn't seem to be the money in middleweight at the minute. Look at Charlo last week. I can't see any interest in Eubank and Charlo whatsoever. I can't see Eubank and Calano. I can't see that fight ever happening. So I just think he's just going to sit and wait it out for the Nejo's son fight. I think that's the only fight that's going to make money for him.
God, it's mad, isn't it? Do you see this Saudi thing lasting, Ken?
I don't know. It depends what they get back. You know, the Ngannou Joshua, sorry, the Ngannou Fury fight sold next to nothing on pay-per-view. It was dreadfully received. So it depends what they're getting back and how they're getting it. If they're getting footfall into their country, and economic ways, it's you know, the economy's doing well there. You know, they're getting footfall, they're getting tourism, they're developing their brand, their country, and it's helping them. Yes, but if it's not, I can't see it lasting. No matter how big the bottomless pit is of money, if you're not getting money back, you're not gonna waste it. You'll invest it in other things.
Well, it's all hotting up, isn't it?
It's interesting. It's been really interesting the last few days. I think it's good for boxing that these fights are getting made. It looks now that we're going to get AJ and Wilder, which is what we wanted. So we'll just have to see what happens, see how it all pans out.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope that everybody gets paid and that, and these fighters over here do get a chance to go over and they share the love.
I think it's all good. I think it's good now. That's not just the Fury show anymore. I think everybody's involved, and I think all the other fighters are going to get opportunity rather than Tyson Fury fighters and Tyson Fury sparring partners. I think it's going to be. I think it's good for boxing. I think we'll have to give it a chance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, Kent.
And all the best, Russell.
Listen, you take care, pal. Cheers, mate.
All the best.
Cheers. Right. Well, that were Kent. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's hope that this December 23rd show does go on. Everybody gets paid. Nobody gets injured. And let's hope it's good for boxing, but let's hope they share the cheer. And it doesn't affect small shows in the areas around here. It doesn't have a knock-on effect. Okay. All right. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Peace out.